The show feels very alive, and
Yeah.
even though the story comes from a movie 20 years ago,
And so I hope people that come see our show, other people that may or may not be part of the queer community, they'll feel a little more courageous about being their true self.
Your love from your mind. Let the light shine until you're blind.
To be worthy of their journey, worthy of their wishes, and all the love they gave.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, this is Taipei Tonight. Oh, I am in that theater mood tonight. Now, in the past few decades, we've seen this huge boom in the musical theater scene here in Taiwan. And I myself was very fortunate to be a part of a few of those productions, and it's been incredible. And today, we have a very special show coming your way. That's right, a brand new musical based on the 1993 Ang Lee movie, The Wedding Banquet. But this production is a cross of talents between Taiwan, New York, and Hollywood, a truly international production. So, ladies and gentlemen, The Wedding Banquet, the musical. Hey! Woo! Finally, we got him in the studio. Have a sit down, guys. Thank you so much for being here. The director and the cast of The Wedding Banquet. My goodness, this is the whole island has been talking about this project for such a long time now. And then we heard the music last year. Finally, you're the person responsible for putting the musical together.
yes, this has been an amazing year since we first decided to kind of re-explore the material and take a more contemporary look at how the movie resonated today. It's obviously one of the best films ever made and made a huge impression on me and I think a lot of us when it first came out. So it's an honor and a privilege to be here.
Obviously, we have a bunch of very talented people from everywhere. I'm going to try to get to everybody because this is probably one of the first times we've had this kind of a cooperation. But Janice, we all know you as this pop musical goddess.
Goddess.
Yeah, right? Goddess. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, but we didn't know your English singing was so amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I was blown away when I first heard it.
Oh, thank you so much.
But and your English. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was flying around a lot of places.
Okay.
So Singapore, Hong Kong, and then I went to Boston for school.
Uh-huh.
So I grew up listening to a lot of English songs and
Okay.
went to international schools.
Oh.
So I
okay.
think that kind of helped with my English.
Yeah. It's incredible. But then
you.
you've done musicals for a little bit now.
Well, this would be my third one officially, but my first one in English. The previous two I did were in Cantonese,
You
actually.
do
Oh, wow.
Cantonese?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah. in
You
Hong
do
Kong.
everything.
Oh no.
Tell us a little experience about doing an English musical.
I think not just the language itself, I think the whole vibe is very different. It's very vibrant, it's very energetic. I think the last two I did, at least the character I was playing in the stories that I was in, it was more ladylike, it was more mild. This is like, oh, we're gonna get it, all the energy. And I think the drama, the story, it's just so exciting. It's so raw. So it forces me to pull out a lot of my, emotions that I kind of kept away for a bit.
Oh, wow.
It's very exciting.
The
Don't wanna
show
miss it.
feels very alive, and
Yeah.
even though the story comes from a movie 20 years ago or more, it really feels like it's happening right now and it's vital. And part of my goal as a director is for you to feel like you're seeing something that can only happen right now in this moment and feels dangerous and alive, so that you want to kind of reach out and help the actors because they're walking a tightrope, an emotional narrative tightrope every night. And it's always going to be kind of different. And that's the thrill of live theater.
I'm so blessed to be able to be a part of this project a little bit and see the magic happen with you, Gordon, with you, Janice, and then you guys, Matt and Telly. These are the two leads of this amazing musical. Is this the first time for you guys in this part of the world?
Yes, actually.
First time for you, Matt?
Yeah, first time in Taiwan.
First time in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what about you?
Well, I spent one day in Taipei. I was singing on a cruise ship, and the cruise ship docked here for one day and one night. So I did a lot of the touristy things. I went to the museum. I went to the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial. I went to all of that, like, you know.
did all that in one day?
I did all that in one day, and then at night, the ship parked here, so I went to a night market, and then we left the next morning. So I had basically 24 hours here, and I always wanted an opportunity to come back.
Wow, this is awesome. And this time working with part of the cast, I would say half-ish is local, half-ish from all kinds of different places. What's it like working with local talents this time?
I'll say we have, Ke Li and Baeon are the funniest actors.
They're adorable.
So full of heart and
Yeah.
life, and we all watch them with great love, just admiration for what they do, their skill, their craft. They're hilarious, and I am so glad and grateful to be a part of a project where I can work with people that have a totally different understanding of theater, a totally different way of sort of coming up through the business, but the same love and passion for the craft that we do.
For sure.
And this cast is full of amazing dancers, amazing singers, talented and committed, and their spirit, their giant bounty kind of flows right off the stage,
wow.
and it's infectious. It gets right into your heart.
Yeah. To some of our audience out there, maybe you've seen the movie back when it first came out. It was really ahead of its time, in my opinion. The way that the story was told, the way that the story was set, and the way that Ang Lee brought the story. It was about the struggle between a father and a son, and his sexual orientation, and how does he bring it about. Also, there is the language barrier. So the original was a part English, part Mandarin, the bilingual show. How did that movie impact you when it first came out? And then what is it like to make it into a musical now? What are you trying to show?
Well, the interesting thing is that I was on the younger side of the generation when it first came out, and I saw it and was so deeply moved. I was still young enough that I wasn't dating. I wasn't really a part of that world, but I was wildly impressed and didn't really know much about Taiwan, but I just thought how advanced and thoughtful and kind and generous this country must be. So I had always been fascinated by it. But the movie gave me great hope for the way generations could come together and evolve and keep growing and getting better. Now I'm on the other side, somewhat, and looking at a younger generation that I don't always understand. So it's interesting to be able to see it from both perspectives, but I will say the show at its core is about family, is about the fact that even as we advance and change and evolve, we are standing on the shoulders of all the people that came before us. And this show keeps reminding us that you're a part of a very long chain of wisdom and experience, and that it's all important and it's all valuable, and there's nothing more beautiful than family in all its shapes and forms.
Yes, love in different shapes and forms, right?
Absolutely.
Do you think society has changed at all facing this topic?
Tremendously.
Yeah.
Both in terms of the law, it's now legal in the
Uh-huh.
United States at least, and legal here.
Yeah.
But there are always 5 steps forward and a step or 2 backward, and but generally,
We kind of tangle with it and then,
Yeah.
but persist.
but we're moving forward.
Yes. Not only just the story itself, but then this production itself, bringing all these people from all corners of the earth into this project.
Well, we couldn't be luckier than to have this group of people.
Yeah,
Telly is
Tell-
forever. One of the biggest stars on Broadway.
Telly,
the
you're-
star of Aladdin. I'm just going to brag on him for a second.
Do
People
brag on
should know that
Yes.
they have the star of
Let
Rent,
them know. Yes.
the star of Aladdin,
Oh.
the star of so many huge Broadway shows that I have enjoyed forever and always admired. And when I first read this script, I said, there is no one that can do this better than Telly Leung. He must be here. And Matt, who I have come to love and know on this project, who is extraordinary and also was in Wicked. They were both in Wicked and Rent and so many wonderful Broadway shows. And Janice, who's, as you said, a pop diva, who is bringing her glorious voice from Disney's Little Mermaid to us. And it all comes together in smashing exciting combustion.
Yeah. Back to Telly here. I mean,
Yeah, listen, I said yes to this because I have such a deep connection to the film. You know, I've been with my partner, who's now my husband, for a very long time. You know, I'm part of the LGBTQ community. I'm queer, and he's American, just like Simon is, and in the show. And I remember when we first started dating, I said, we're on a date night. I said, we're watching Ang Lee's Wedding Banquet because if you want to get to know me, and if you want to get to know what it was like for me to come out to my very traditional Chinese family and what all of that meant, and being an only Chinese American son, and what that means, you have to watch this before you meet my parents, actually. And I think he got it. You know, he understood that. You know, and yes, I think the world has moved forward in a lot of ways where laws and things are more equitable for LGBTQ people. But coming out is still hard. Coming out might be easier than it was 30 years ago, but it's still difficult when you have to come out to somebody like your parents who have a vision of who you are and expectations for who you are. And then what if the person you are doesn't meet exactly those expectations? It's scary to do that. And so I hope people that come see our show, other people that may or may not be part of the queer community that come see our show, maybe feel seen, and then they maybe still feel heard, and maybe they'll feel a little more courageous about being their true selves when they leave the theater.
Yeah, and whoever you are, you can come watch the show.
Yeah.
You know, the best part about the story to me, I feel like it's an understanding of love. It's an understanding of love that you did not understand before, or how to express it.
And it's also an understanding of, I think, family.
Yep.
You know, I think family can look like so many things. I know I do theater, and I've loved working in theater because every show I do is a chosen family that gets to come together. And I think very much so Wedding Banquet is also about that. Family doesn't always look like that traditional picture of family that we've grown up in, you know, learning about.
Yeah.
Families look like, this can be a family right here, right?
Yes.
This is my Wedding Banquet family.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So, and I think that's really what the show is about.
Yeah. When the theater company first showed me some of your tapes, your footages from the past, I was like, is this guy real? Is this AI? Your performances are like another level. You're different. You know, it's so amazing. To lead this show with you is Matt, which I had the privilege of hearing a little bit of your voice as well. Man, and the productions that you have done, that you brought you all over the world. Tell us about your experience with theater and coming here to Taiwan.
Yeah, great. I mean, I started my career doing Spring Awakening on Broadway. Did West Side Story after that, which Gordon saw, which was really lovely. That's where we crossed paths for the first time.
Wow.
Rent, we didn't get to do Rent together. And then I did Wicked after that, but we didn't get to do Wicked together. So it's so great to actually finally get to work with this guy, and in such an intimate way.
Yeah.
It's really, really lovely. So far, I mean, I haven't been here long, but I just love it here. Yeah. This is an amazing place. From the food, to the nature, to the architecture of Taipei Tower. I mean, everything. But it's really just the people. I mean, that's what I think makes it so wonderful. Everybody is so kind, and not in just a nice, you know, I'm trying to be nice to you way. A very genuine spirit of love. And we feel that. And I feel like that has helped us infuse that sense of unconditional love into the show. So yeah, I'm on cloud nine. I'm having a blast.
Okay, so we're hearing you guys tell us all these things, and I'm telling them about all your amazing talents, and then we're talking about a musical. So we got to hear something. Matt, I understand you have something prepared for us today.
I do.
A little preview
little something
of the show. All right, so here we go. You guys are in for a treat. Let's check it out.
Let the light get in your eyes. Let the night erase the lies. Lose your heart inside the beat. Play the part, hide the pain you feel. Take the drugs and start a fire. Hit the ground while like a wire. Feel the love fall from your mind. Let the light shine until you're blind. I'm leaving my mind, escaping my mind. I need to go out of my mind. Must be the music that moves me so. Might be the reason I miss him so. I love him, don't know what to say. Must be the music that makes me feel insane.
Great job. Holy cow. See, you know what I'm talking about now? It's insane. I've been doing entertainment in Taiwan for a couple of decades. I'm so lucky just to work with you guys and see you guys in action on this particular production. Matt, I mean, you've done musical for quite some time now, but then you being this tall, handsome, blonde, Caucasian man in New York, what was it like for Telly, an Asian man, doing musical all these years in New York?
Yeah, you know, I've had the really wonderful honor and privilege to do shows where being Asian was very much a part of the show. You know, so my first Broadway show was a musical called Flower Drum Song, and it was a Rodgers Hammerstein show. It was an all-Asian cast, and my second Broadway show was Pacific Overtures, which was an all-Asian cast. It was a Stephen Sondheim musical. But then I got to be parts of shows like Wicked and Rent and In Transit, and even a show like Aladdin, where it was very diverse. You know, and it sort of was very color conscious, but also color blind in a lot of ways too. So I think what I like to say is that I celebrate everything that I am and who I am. This is the skin I'm in. This is what I look like. This is how I sound. And whenever I audition for a show, I always think, well, I think there's a place for me in the show. I hope everybody behind the table that's auditioning me thinks that too.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But I know for me, the kind of theater I like to see is the kind of theater that is as diverse and as eclectic as the world I love.
Yeah, yeah. And now is this one of the first time it's a predominantly Asian cast production for you?
Well, for sure. I mean, that was one of the most exciting things for me, was coming to Taiwan to work with Taiwanese artists, and not that includes not just our dancers, but like our stage managers and the crew that we're eventually going to meet in the theater, like everybody, with you who's going to be in the show, like everybody. So it's so exciting that is like really one of the incentives for us coming halfway across the world, is to go, oh, let's meet other artists on the other side of the planet, and let's make something with them.
All right, so now the question goes back to, so what is it like for a handsome blonde guy? You're the one that's making this show more diverse. No, right?
I have thought about that, and that's very special. I don't think I ever thought I would be in that position, and it's quite nice. I really don't know what else to say about it other than it's a very unique experience for me. But I will say Broadway has, in the last few years, really embraced diversity. And there are so many shows that it just doesn't matter anymore. You know, we unless it's specific to the show, like in this case, you know, where you're highlighting a Taiwanese family and an American man. But yeah, it's an honor and a privilege to be that one guy. It really is.
Right. You know, opening in Taipei. This amazing production. I mean, was there a particular reason why you guys chose to open in Taiwan?
Obviously, the material has such a deep connection to Taiwan, and we have amazing producers here, and a producer from Los Angeles, Welly Yang, who has spent a good amount of his life here. And felt really strongly that he wanted this to be one of the first collaborations between Broadway and Taiwan, and that we were developing a new Broadway show here, the way you would normally start in Los Angeles or Boston or Chicago. He said, we're going to start in Taipei, and we're going to develop it and see what happens. And doing a new show usually takes several productions before you get to whatever the final product is, whether it's Broadway or a tour or London, or just publishing it and letting everyone do it at their school. But as we sort of develop this is the crucial first step in fully understanding all of this show's potential and how it's going to resonate with audiences. So Taipei audiences are playing a really important role in the birth of a brand new musical.
Yeah. And speaking of Welly, which is a mutual friend of ours, you should have been here today. So you owe me one.
Welly,
where are you? Welly.
So he's the producer. He's been working on this for many years now, and then but you know, for obvious reasons, his connection with Taiwan. Ang Lee's connection with Taiwan, and the original story based on a very traditional Taiwan family. And also, Taiwan society being one of the first countries in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage, to push the envelope a little bit in inclusiveness and getting everybody to understand each other. I think Taiwan has done so much in that way to bridge the understanding.
And I think people relate to it, whatever your preferred romantic partner might be or life partner. This is about someone who is a little bit of an outsider and is not the person that their parents expect, which is almost all of us. And so there's always going to be a part of you that feels like, am I doing everything that my parents really want me to do? And that's the joy of the show, is sort of taking that and saying, I'm not going to be the exact child that you may have pictured, but I think things can be great.
Yeah.
And watching the parents open up
Yes.
to that news is really lovely.
That's a great message. I love that. I know we're really close to the show. You guys are preparing day and night. Telly, you flew in. He started. He was in the studio right from the airport. Right?
Basically, yes.
He's in there getting it.
He was
getting
still
it,
in his pajamas
Yeah.
and sleep.
getting it done. I mean, but for some of you, this is you guys don't come to this part of the world quite often. I mean, have you guys had any chance to look around?
I want to get out onto the hiking trails. I'm an avid hiker, and I've been on a few. I walked around Elephant Mountain, was beautiful. We went down south.
We went to Ulai. I brought him to
Ulai,
Ulai
okay.
with Leo.
Waterfalls,
Yeah.
gorgeous. Oh man, and so I just, as much as I can, which is not often because we are very hard at work on this show for you guys. But when I do get a chance, any recommendations?
Oh, so many. I'll let you guys
Okay,
know. And
okay.
Telly.
And for me, it's the food.
The
I mean,
food.
I want to hit
Oh.
every night market. I want every late night eat. So that's what I.
What's
plan
on
to
your
do.
list? What's your to eat
Okay,
list
so
of Taiwan?
I've heard about the stinky tofu.
Yeah.
And I've not had the stinky tofu. And
Oh.
I'm ready.
Well,
I'm
that's
ready
like-
for
that's
my
like- that's like
stinky
basic-
tofu experience.
That's
I'm
like
ready for
basic
it.
Taiwan food
I know.
101.
I need it.
Right?
I need to have it.
We're
Yeah.
going tomorrow night.
Yeah, we got to do it.
All right.
And of course, everybody loves Din Tai Fung.
I didn't.
Oh,
okay.
God.
It's
Yeah.
opening in New York,
Yeah.
like right now.
Oh,
Actually,
wow.
a block from the theater where my
Well,
show's
you know
playing.
what? There's one downstairs on a studio.
And
So,
there's
yeah.
one here.
Yeah, there's one here.
But I've only been to the ones in LA and in San Diego, and I'm so excited to be in the home of Din Tai Fung.
Oh wow! So I hope you guys. Obviously, you guys are going to bring this amazing story to Taiwan. I hope Taiwan can bring something to you
It already
as
has.
Yeah.
well. You know.
It's brought you to us.
Oh, thank you. I'm very privileged to be a part of this. If you guys do come to see the show, you will see me do a very small part to
But
participate.
an important part. He
You
plays
think-
a very learned doctor.
It means so much to me. Yeah, and then to see all you guys in action, it's a treat for the audience in Taiwan. So make sure you come out and check out the show. All right. But before we wrap things up, we got you here.
Janice.
Janice
Janice.
is here. We can't let you just talk about music.
Aw.
Can we get a song?
Oh, I would love to. The music is so good, you guys. Yeah.
This is a gorgeous song.
Yeah.
All right. So the Shingan Baobei of our show
Oh gosh.
is Janice. Janice,
man.
let's hear a song, Janice.
Somewhere inside me, my family is a memory. A strange new city, I find myself alone. My parents suddenly gone, but their dreams for me live on. A life of freedom they had never known. Still feel their smile somewhere inside. So every line I paint for them to be worthy of their journey, worthy of their wishes and all the love they gave. So everything I